Hey everyone, Fozzie here, along with Will, as always, and welcome to the Everything Podcast. Today we'll be doing the same things as we usually do. We also have a special guest here. He'll be doing the sports segment, and yeah, we're going to start off with music. So, Will, I asked you if you would listen to Big Shot by Billy Joel, High Steppin' by the Avett Brothers, Back in Black by AC/DC, and as a commenter recommended last video, a song by Led Zeppelin, so I chose Heartbreaker, which I thought was a good song. How did you feel about the first song, Big Shot by Billy Joel?
Yeah, that was a very good song. Personally, just to dive into it, I did not see any bad song in there. I think these were some of the best songs that you've chosen so far for this Cam. I mean, High
Thank you.
Steppin'. That is totally one of my favorite Brothers songs right now. I've loved it ever since it came out, and then the other three were just great rocking songs. So I loved every single one that you brought up today.
Thank you. Um, so yeah, Back in Black by AC/DC was actually used in the film Iron Man 1.
I thought about that. Yeah.
I was listening to a few songs by AC/DC and I noticed that I heard that before.
Yeah, I think it's the guitar stuff at the beginning that was most prominently featured in Iron Man One.
Yeah. And High Steppin' by the Avett Brothers, you already said was one of your favorite Avett Brothers
Oh yeah,
songs. I really like that one too. Um, Heartbreaker by Led Zeppelin. I don't really listen to a lot of Led Zeppelin. I find them sometimes to be a little much. But this was a really good song. I
and the
really liked it.
guitar solo in it was
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
it was amazing. Big Shot by Billy Joel. Obviously, Billy Joel's a legend.
Oh yeah,
Um, that probably is my favorite Billy Joel song. Um, so yeah, we totally recommend all of these songs. Definitely, definitely give them a try for yourself. And yeah, that was a short uh music segment, only about a minute long. And next we have our sports segment, I believe. Take it away, Will.
yeah. So for our sports segment, let's just go ahead and let's just start with the NBA. I mean, free agency is going on right now, and I'll start by asking you guys, what have your thoughts been on the Lakers' moves this off season? They obviously bring in Russell Westbrook last Thursday, and they also brought in Carmelo Anthony yesterday. So this has been a pretty impressive off season for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, I totally agree. They're probably if they don't get hurt this year, they probably will be a very competitive in the playoffs. But that is if they don't get hurt, because last year LeBron and Anthony Davis were banged up pretty much the whole year, right? And
Yeah,
so I feel like their number one goal is just to stay healthy. But if they do, they will be a dominating force in the NBA.
definitely, yeah. And personally, I would be totally kind of surprised to see anybody not have the Lakers and Nets in the NBA Finals right now. I just think that's the best bet at this particular moment in time. Let's talk a little bit about the Chicago Bulls as well. They pick up Lonzo Ball. They also pick up DeMar DeRozan yesterday. What's been your take on that? As those are two pretty solid pickups.
I was actually just informed of that by Nick. I thought it wasn't true, but Nick, apparently it is true that DeMar DeRozan went to the Bulls.
Yep,
But Nick, do you have anything to say about DeMar?
I like that because now I think with also getting Alex Caruso on their team,
that's
they
right.
they got a pretty good squad with Alex Caruso and they have Kobe White as their sixth man now, so they got a good bench. And they have a good starting five.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then, Nick, I'll get your take also. What's your thoughts on Lowry going to the Heat?
Oh, I loved that one because now it's not just Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero and Bam. Now they got a fourth man with them.
Oh yeah, this is
They
gonna
got
be a good team.
They got a nice ball handler for them, and they got an amazing small forward in Jimmy Butler. I think if they stay healthy, they could go to the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah, so those are kind of the, I would say those are kind of the top stories in NBA free agency at this moment. Although this is not as big, but I think the Nets got a solid addition to their team yesterday as well, bringing in Patty Mills.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um. So yeah, you had some football topics you'd like to cover. Would you like to go over those now?
Yeah. So about last year in Lamar Jackson, I was reading something, and it was like he had more rushing yards than he had throwing yards, and I was shocked about that.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson is just kind of a fascinating quarterback in my mind personally. I mean, he needs to learn to throw the ball better. I mean, I think pretty much everybody knows that.
Agreed.
So,
Yes.
I mean, he is just again a fascinating QB.
Yeah.
To me, because everybody knows he is so talented. He just has some things that he has to work on, and they're pretty obvious.
Yeah, like this year in training camp, if he gets the skill with getting better at throwing the football and rolling out of the pocket better, he could bring his team somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And not to say that his team's bad without him not having a lot of skill when it comes to throwing. They're still nasty when they just have him run straight up the field. I mean,
oh yeah.
If he learns how to throw the ball successfully, then that team will be on a whole nother level. So yeah, do you have anything else on the NBA or NFL, Will?
Well, I do think this is something noteworthy. The USA men's basketball team beat Spain in the quarterfinals.
Oh wow, they won! Wow.
Yeah, they're on to the semifinals now. Kevin Durant, another masterful performance with 29 points. So they've got to get a bit better at putting a complete game together. They fell behind again. I mean, they are kind of relying big on Kevin Durant at this moment. I don't think they would personally be moving on to the semifinals without Kevin Durant.
Oh, I agree.
I am glad that they got that win. They seem to be rounding into form, and I feel much better about their chances at gold today than I did a week ago from Sunday when they lost to France.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually am really surprised this team won. Kevin Durant obviously is a dominating force in in basketball, and without him, they just I don't think they actually have a win. I mean, this team needs Kevin Durant. I believe I've already said this in a podcast. But Kevin Durant is easily their best player. Without them, they wouldn't have a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick, what have your thoughts been on the USA men's basketball team as of late?
They have a good squad they have Bradley Beal too. Bradley Beal's good. But I was in their first games before they started.
Mm-hmm.
Their exhibition games. Those weren't the best games.
I'll say that, yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
I wouldn't have been surprised if they lost this round. But if KD keeps putting on a show like he has been, then they could they have to play all around good game, good defense, good offense, good ball movement, and everything.
Yep.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's about all that I have for today, Cam. I mean, NFL training camp's obviously going on right now. The Hall of Fame game between Dallas and the Steelers is going to be tomorrow on Fox. So it's preseason, but it'll be nice to actually sit down and watch a NFL game.
Mhm. Yeah.
I got a question for you, Will.
Yeah.
How do you like the Warriors? I heard you like the Warriors. So how do you like them drafting Jonathan Kuminga? I think that was what his name was, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, mean, I'd be lying if I said I was an expert at college basketball, but I did, like who the Warriors drafted this year. I mean, I think Kuminga can be a great player for us
Oh
down
yeah.
the down the down the road. So yes, I was very pleased with the Warriors draft
Yeah,
this
because
year. And look, I mean, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, they may want that superstar out there, but I think the Warriors would be playing it very smart if they kept Kuminga, Moses Moody, and James Wiseman on their team, because you've got to have a future of some kind.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Nick, do you have any baseball takes for this?
Baseball.
No.
No, I don't got anything about baseball.
Okay, so does that bring us to the end of our sports segment, Will?
I think that does, Cam, yeah.
Alright, so now we'll be moving on to our movie review. And this week, oh no, I have to bring up the doc. We'll be reviewing Jaws 2. Jaws 2 is a movie that it has mixed feelings for me. I like this movie. I think it has some good scares. And in case you're wondering why I'm not doing Jaws 1, like everyone knows how I'm going to review it. It's an amazing movie.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anyone knows how I'm going to review Jaws 2 because some people like it and some people just totally despise it. And I'm kind of in the middle there. I don't love Jaws 2 and I definitely do not hate Jaws 2. But
That's kind of interesting because I mean, what I've heard from people is obviously just all stuff about just the terrible direction they went in after Jaws 1, and why do all these sequels and keep bringing back a shark to just really crazy. But that's good to hear that at least one of the sequels got at least some strong feelings for you now.
yes, Jaws 3 and Jaws 4 are just kind of a mess, especially Jaws 4. Oh my gosh, that's a horrible movie.
I have not seen those, so why don't you go
Better
into
off.
what you like about them, Kim?
So I'm gonna start off with Jaws 2 saying one of the best things about the first Jaws movie is because you never knew where the shark was. You never knew where it was coming. And when you finally saw it, that was the coolest scene. Like when the shark gets that guy out of the boat and Michael like faints or something. That's a great scene, and that's like the first time we really see the shark. But in this movie, we know there's a shark. We know it's a shark. Whereas in the opening scene of Jaws 1, you don't even see the shark. You don't even know what it is. But in the opening scene of Jaws 2, you immediately know it's a shark. And that kind of the suspense level just goes down, and suspense was one of the best parts of the first one, and they ruined it right away.
That's a great point because even though I don't think anything would be able to match Jaws 1 because it's such an epic.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, at least like you're saying, if they had not made you know that it was a shark right at the beginning of the movie, then maybe you could feel a bit better, and as you say, have a bit more suspense and maybe have you thinking, oh, is this not a shark this time, even though the title is Jaws 2.
Yeah, that's a good point because I just feel like they could have made such a better movie with more suspense, you know. I also hate so Michael and Sean, like the classic scene with Sean Brody and his dad, where his son just does what he does like at the dinner table and stuff. That's an iconic scene in Jaws, and they ruined Sean and they ruined Mike. When I say they ruined Michael in that movie, they ruined Michael. All of those kids in the movie. Like at the end scene, all the kids on the boats and stuff. Oh my gosh, every single one of them is horrible. Every single one of them.
And do they over time do they even have the same characters in those movies, Cam, or do they move on to some new people
So
as well?
in the first Jaws, they have Quint, Brody, and Cooper.
Right.
and Quint dies. Spoiler, I guess. Uh, Hooper, is it Hooper or Cooper? I think it's Hooper.
You would know.
So he's not even in this movie because I guess they didn't want to pay him. But Chief Brody is still in this movie, which is something at least. But they kind of messed up his character too somehow, and they just, I feel like he's not even in the movie enough. They focus too much on those annoying kids in their boat, but I don't care about those kids. I want to see Brody kill some sharks. I mean, it's Jaws, and also with the mayor in this movie. So Chief Brody was correct about a shark in the first one. So when he thinks there's a shark now, why do they not believe him? How does that make sense?
Fantastic point. Cam, this is slightly on a different Jaws topic, but I'm just amazed that they went beyond the Jaws 2.
Yeah,
I mean, and they did 5, right?
4.
4. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. The third Jaws movie is just an absolute gimmick. It was Jaws 3 in 3D, so it probably made money because it's a 3D movie released in like the 80s or 90s. So it's gonna make money. And Jaws 4, I think that got turned into I think there's a video game based around Jaws 4, so it probably made some money. But it's a horrible movie, and world-renowned actor Michael Caine is in that movie for some reason. Oh. But back to Jaws 2.
It's just sad. Really.
Yes, it is.
I mean, that's all that I have to say. I mean, it's just a joke.
It is, really. But there's a scene in Jaws 2 where this mother is taking her daughter, water skiing, and the shark kills the daughter. They don't show the shark, I guess, I think, which is cool. Suspense. And then the shark bites the boat in which the mother is in. So then the mother has a tank of gas in the boat. She tries to pour it on the shark for some reason, but somehow pours it on herself.
Oh my gosh.
And then the boat blows up.
Wow. That's all I have to say.
That which is leaving scars on Jaws for the rest of the movie. So the only point of that was to have Jaws look a little more strange, like have burn marks on one side of him. There's no point to that.
Yeah, I mean, tell me what your thoughts are, Cam, but, something I would have maybe done is, have him not try and go off and kill a shark, but go off and kill some other animal or some animal in the jungle, let's say, and just...
It'd be better than this movie, I'll say that.
Just a shark after shark after shark.
Yeah, and I feel like any of that. If they tried to bring home a gorilla, it would be better than this movie. If they tried to kill a gorilla, it would be better than this horrendous movie. And in my notes here, I have a bullet that says there were some cool thriller moments. And now that I'm revisiting it, there were no good moments in this movie. It's not really a good movie. And I'm gonna give this a final grade of I have a D on my notes, but I'm gonna give it an F. Horrible movie. Yes.
Alright, so Jaws 2 is being given an F by our host, Cam, aka Fozzie.
Yes.
Alright, yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, you've told me how bad the sequels are, so I completely take your word for it, Cam.
Alright, so that's gonna do it for our movie review segment. And now, Will, with our movie of the week.
Alright, movie of the week. This is what I was feeling today. Let's do Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Just a great movie.
I like this movie. I like this movie. And like I said previously, I think it might have been episode 4, where you did The Last Jedi. I don't like that movie, but this movie I do like. I think what they did with Palpatine was cool. I think they were eliminated by what the previous director did when they killed off Snoke for some reason.
Snoke did deserved to die, though. I will say
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure. But they should have like made him be the
Yeah,
bad guy or something,
I know.
and not just bring back someone else. But it's 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 a strange movie for me because I like it. I it's I do like it, but there are scenes in which I just can't stand. I can't stand Rose. Like it doesn't make any sense. She was in the last one. She was one of the most
I
prominent
I
characters,
agree with that.
and she, she just stays on base with the rest of them. So dumb.
I yeah.
And Finn. Okay, I have a lot. I don't have a lot to say about Finn. I hate him. I don't like him.
Are you kidding me?
I do not like Finn. All he does is stand there and yell, "Ray, no!"
No, that's absolutely incorrect. At the end, they actually have a bit of a moment where he slightly taps into the force of it. I
oh please.
completely disagree with you on that, Kim.
Okay, I can. I guess how some people can feel differently, but I totally. I just don't like him. I mean, I'm sure there are people who disagree with me. I'm sure there are people who agree. But other than that, I like this movie. I think it actually it's kind of creepy with Palpatine and his weird face. It it's
I
cool.
despise every single thing about that man. If
Oh,
you, if I should even call him a man, he's just some creature.
yeah, he's more of a creature.
But yeah, no, I thought that was an excellent movie. Really, to me, no Star Wars moment is more satisfying than when Palpatine dies in that movie. Oh, that
I
was
would
so
agree.
satisfying.
Yeah.
So no, I just think that is an outstanding, outstanding movie.
Also, I said in my last and when you did Star Wars Last Jedi as your movie of the week, I
Oh
said
yeah,
I didn't like Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, but
yeah.
I'm gonna in this movie he kind of revived himself. He he's gotten. I think he's good in this movie. I think he's actually decent.
I mean, you know my thoughts. I mean, I've loved
Yes.
Adam Driver's performance the whole
Yeah.
way. I mean, that character, he has to act like a kind of, conflicted, child and then, bad guy at other times. He has to have like all these different emotions. I thought he did a really, really great job, and I think his acting performance should get
Yeah.
nothing but praise.
Yeah. I guess, but Daisy Ridley, of course, as Ray was
That was outstanding.
outstanding, great performance, and Leia, of course. Somehow
Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher died in 2016, I believe,
Yeah,
unfortunately, and somehow she was able to appear in 3 Star Wars movies.
yeah.
Um, the most recent in 2019. So, and unfortunately, Leia dies in this movie, which I think was needed. I think that was a good decision by director J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams did a fantastic job with this movie. How about the moment when Luke catches the lightsaber in the fire?
I don't really love Luke, but in these movies, because I think
Okay, okay.
he's
I
kind of
mean,
annoying. But that was a good scene. That was kind of
he's definitely annoying in The Last
oh
Jedi.
yeah,
I don't find him annoying in The Rise of Skywalker.
yeah. I agree because he's technically dead in this movie, but he kind of revived his character. Mark Hamill did a great job, and catching the lightsaber totally revived his when he threw it away.
Mark
And
Hamill, great job, great job.
yeah, and I just thought
I did see Harrison Ford in this movie as well in the surprise Han Solo appearance.
I love Harrison Ford. He's one of my favorite of all time actors, but he didn't really need to be in this movie. I mean, I think he just did it to
Was
get
it
some
not great to
cash.
see Han Solo?
Oh, don't get me wrong. It's amazing to see Han Solo. I'll always be up for seeing Han Solo. I love Harrison Ford, but speaking from someone who's just not biased and just likes every character or actor, I'm just gonna say that wasn't needed. He didn't need to be in that movie, but it was cool to see him anyway.
I disagree. I think it was great to have him in there. I
Yeah,
would disagree with you on that as well, actually.
I guess he's kind of what motivated Kylo Ren to become a better person. So
Sure. All right. Cam, I actually want to end by saying this because it seems like you think this is a good movie, but you're not bouncing off your seat about it. So give me a grade on this movie.
okay, I'll give it probably just a B. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was a good
I
movie.
I so have different feelings on this. Every single, all the way around. A. I have nothing more to say on this topic.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Um, but if we were reviewing The Force Awakens, I'd give that one an A. That's probably the best Star Wars movie.
It's very, very good. It's very, very good.
But yeah, I like this movie. I didn't love it, but if you guys haven't watched it, definitely check it out. Um, and yeah, you heard my opinion on it. You heard Will's opinion on it. He really liked it. I liked it. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, that'll kind of do it for our podcast today. Thank you guys all for watching or listening. Thanks for Nick for coming on today, and thanks guys. Have a good day.